Okay, hello everyone. This is a lecture about the respiratory system anatomy. So, how are you seeing this, kids? Okay, cute, huh? Well, maybe not so cute. This is what is hidden behind this cuteness. This is what keeps that kid alive. This is actually her biological systems structures. Just do not panic, we're just talking here about the respiratory system. So what is the respiratory system? This is your biological system that is involved in the intake and exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide between your body and the environment. So what is this system really composed of? Well, there are many organs that stand together and shape your respiratory system. We're going to identify them from the top and down into the bottom. The first thing that we have here is the nose, or what is called the nasal cavity. The nasal cavity is the main external opening for the respiratory system, and it's also the first section of the body's airway. So let me just make something clear here. The nose is not the same as the nasal cavity. The nasal cavity is a hollow space between the nose and the skull. This space is lined with hairs and mucus in order to prevent dust, dirt, and germs before they can reach the inner portions of the body. Okay. What is after the nasal cavity? After the nasal cavity, we have the mouth, or what is called the oral cavity. What is this oral cavity? It's the second external opening for the respiratory tract. You cannot alter the nose by your mouth and just keep breathing from there, because your mouth is just because your mouth just does not actually have hairs or mucus. It's not gonna warm or moisture the air entering your body, but it actually has one important advantage, which is that it's a shorter pathway for the air from the nose. So when someone is having trouble with breathing, he can immediately breathe from his mouth, and this will let the air in faster, so he can actually take more air than he would have taken a breath from the nose. Anyway, this taking so much less, just move to the next organ. What is the next organ? Here we have the pharynx. So what is the pharynx? It's much like a muscular funnel that extends from the posterior end of the nasal cavity and to the superior end of the esophagus. Here, from the posterior end of the nasal cavity to the superior end of the larynx and the esophagus. By the way, posterior and superior, they are anatomical terminology. Posterior means something that is towards the back of the body, and superior means something that is towards the head. Anyway, right after the pharynx. After the pharynx, we have the larynx. So what is the larynx? Simply, as most of us know, larynx is also known as the voice box. It's just located in the anterior portion of the neck. It's located here in the interior portion of the neck, as it connects the pharynx and the trachea. Just connection between the pharynx and the trachea. So here we come to the trachea. What is the trachea? It's a 5-inch long tube that is made of C-shaped cartilage rings. Those rings actually are to make, or to allow the air to allow the trachea to remain open to the air at all times. So the trachea simply connects between the larynx and the bronchi. Larynx here and the bronchi, just in order to allow the air to pass through the neck and into the thorax. What is after the trachea? After the trachea, we have the bronchi. So we can see it more clearly here. If we just zoom in a section of the human's lung, we will see the bronchi right here. What is the bronchi? Simply they are the passageways by which the air passes through the nose or the mouth and into the alveoli. And alveoli, they are the main region of gas exchange inside the body, and this is what we are gonna talk about in the next video. So the last thing that we have here, and also the most important thing, is something called the diaphragm. What is the diaphragm? This is the principal muscle of respiration in the human body. As we can see here, it's just a thin sheet of skeletal muscles that forms like the floor of the thorax. So when the diaphragm contracts, it moves downwards into the abdominal cavity and so as to expand the space of the thoracic cavity, and when it relaxes, it moves upwards, pushing the air out of the lungs, and so on and so forth. As we can see here, it expands and contracts, so on and so on, so allowing the air to enter and then pushing it out of the lungs. So I hope this helps, and thank you.